to another video. I had quite a busy last week. I wanted to photograph a comet, completely failed on that one. I went hiking up a very tall, high, cottage place. I squeezed a few nice photographs and I was experimenting with, well, back to the roots. Lumix G85 with a 20mm. Now this is a micro four thirds camera, so 20mm pancake is 40mm equivalent in full frame, and this is supposed to give you the most natural looking photographs that you can photograph, because 40mm apparently is roughly what our eyes see. And honestly, I think there's something to this whole story. Let's dive in. Always some cottage in the hills. Oh man, dude, I have to go pee. No! Now, before we start, if you guys want to comment on the hair, there's actually a story why I'm growing my hair and my beard. So if you guys wait until the end of the video, I'm gonna explain the reason. It's a weird reason, but now could be interesting. Okay, so let's start off first with the whole hiking trip. Now, I did manage to take a few interesting photographs. First of all, on the way up, I managed to squeeze a few shots of some mushrooms. Now, this one is particularly interesting because they're being backlit by the light behind, and I think the colors and the textures are nice. So a very simple composition with the subject being right dead in the center. Now this one caught my eye because, roots. If you guys follow me a lot on the channel, you probably know that I have this weird obsession of forest pathways and roots and light shining through the trees. So like an obvious composition. More mushrooms. Now this one, as you probably know, is poisonous, but the colors and the way the light was shining, and I did, kind of tweak it a bit in post-edit, but just a wonderful, colorful photograph. And then when we came up there, when we got to the top, to the cottage, where we did get a beer, a schnapps, and we did have a bit of a R&R discussion, or we were like catching up with some old friendship vibes. Well, I did then squeeze a few photographs of our highest, tallest mountain in Slovenia called Triglav, and I don't know if you can make the three heads, but yeah, with the foreground trees and really weird foreground clouds. Not a big fan of this photo, but this next one, the black and white version with no foreground, I think this one looks kind of good, and I think even the textures are pretty decent. And I also managed to squeeze a photo of the Lake Bled. Now, you probably heard of Lake Bled, especially if you're a landscape photographer. This time around, a photograph from up high. I did have to use a lot of dehazing to actually make this photo look the way it does. But a bit of foreground in the scene, it's a messy photograph. Well, here we are, and I even brought the big tripod with me so that I can put the heavy lens and camera setup here. However, there is a bit of a problem. Clouds, like right where the meteor is going to be, right here somewhere. I don't know. Okay, now let's talk about the Comet photograph story. Last week was the last week that the Comet A 2023, I don't know the official name of the comet, but it's supposed to be like the brightest comet in this century. Don't quote me on this, but it was really bright in the sky, and on Wednesday was like the last day that you can see it here in our local place. So the idea was to hike up above our hometown where this like old castle ruins are, and I wanted to set up the camera there, wait for the comet, and then take a photo as it's passing over the local city. So currently it's 6:30 in the afternoon, and they say that the best visibility is going to be at around 7 o'clock or up after 7. I was hoping to get a glimpse of it before. Yeah, just waiting here. Now you might be asking, well, if there's a lot of light pollution, how were you supposed to see it? But it's not a really bright city underneath, so technically once the sun goes down, the comet would start to shine. The problem is, well, clouds came in, so I managed to squeeze just the two photographs. Now this was the whole idea, so the town underneath and the comet would be above here. And this was about half an hour before the comet would actually be visible, but it was right here behind these clouds. So all the way into the night, I could not take a photograph of the comet because it was hiding behind clouds. And then I took this next photograph where I wanted to see if I could actually spot a comet through the clouds. Now this was, as you can see, a failed attempt, but I shot this with the 500mm focal length, so technically I was hoping to get the comet like really close up, you know, just the comet and nothing else. So that was also an idea for the photograph. Yeah, completely failed. I mean, come on, sometimes you fail. That's just how it is. Okay, I'm officially giving up. There is no comment. Now, I did also hike to a very famous touristic place here in our local. If you guys follow me on the channel, you've probably seen a whole bunch of videos of me up there. It's called Velika Planina. It's like the plain at 1500 feet above sea level, where shepherds' cottages are and cows, and you can buy, you know, cheese and stuff like this. And well, you have to be up there when there was no clouds, because otherwise, yeah, I was photographing literally nothing. Well, I mean, not a lot to photograph, to be completely honest, given the circumstances. The idea was to photograph this church with a 500mm focal length and some mountains in the back. But yeah, you know, like another failed attempt. I mean, I failed a lot this week. And then finally, my Micro Four Thirds 40mm full frame equivalent focal length experiment. Now, these turned out to be quite interesting. So I have a whole bunch of photographs I want to show you here, all shot with the little camera with a 40mm full frame equivalent. And well, okay, this one is just a ghost on a tree. Not really sure what this one's doing here, but yeah, I mean, apart from the trees and the colors looking really nice, I did enhance them in Lightroom, but this was pretty much the scene that I was looking at. So it kind of, I mean, the way I saw it, that's how it came out in the photograph. So that kind of sparked the whole idea, and I took my camera with me all the time, everywhere I went. So there's a whole bunch of different photographs. But yeah, I know everywhere I went, everything that caught my eye, I could capture with this 40mm focal length. Even Alex here eating his ice cream. But then I really dove into the whole idea of really experimenting with this. Let's take a first photograph. I haven't used this in such a long time. But oh, and it's a Micro Four Thirds. Photo kind of came out the way I saw it. I mean, there's really a big difference between if you have things close to you and you want to get some depth in the photo. That's where I think the 40mm falls apart, because this photo over here, well, I didn't see it like this. But in contrast, a photo like this, where the elements are a bit further away, pretty much exactly as I saw it in my field of view, which is kind of a interesting thing. I mean, I always thought that 50mm is the one that is the most natural. It's also the focal length that you're supposed to be learning photography with if you only have the one lens. So 50 is kind of ideal, but 40, I mean, yeah, 40 just looks better. Definitely. And here again, like more photographs that really look the way I saw them as they were, and a nice tree line with some colors. Completely useless photo, but the colors are amazing. Here the same church from a bit higher, exactly the way I saw it, which is kind of interesting. And then in the evening we had some chestnut, like a chestnut party. And yeah, well, you know, like a picnic, kids, chestnuts, and a whole bunch of beer after the kids went to bed. So yeah, this was like my relatively non-productive week last week. Now I did learn something, and that is that I will be carrying this teeny tiny camera with me pretty much all the time, because this combo with like a pancake, very lightweight, small lens, amazing. And you know, if you guys have questions about this, leave it down below in the comments. I would love to start a debate, because I did start my whole photography career actually with this camera, with a Micro Four Thirds system. And for the final thoughts, the hair. Yeah, I actually ordered a new car, and it was supposed to come, you know, 3 to 4 months. Now it's 3.5 months. And the whole idea was, when I ordered it, I said, I'm not going to shave and cut my hair until I get it. It's a stupid thing, I know. Now I did shave, but the hair is growing and it's starting to annoy me. And the whole point of this was, once this starts to get annoying to me, that's when I know that the car will be running late, and I'm gonna have to start pressing on the guys to deliver, or at least give me an idea of when the car is coming. And if you are curious about the car, I will make a whole video about the car, but it is a small, compact, kind of sport line, interesting. It's gonna be red color, yeah, like my shirts. No, I think it's like mid-age crisis or something. So yeah, anyway, this is why the hair is so weird. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, and if you're new, somehow stumbled upon this channel, then consider subscribing. I do a lot of photography, camera, gear review, drones, and a whole bunch of other things. So make sure to, well, to subscribe, and if you want to watch last week's video, then click on this one over here. Thanks, and I'll see you in this one. Bye bye.